Om Sai Ram. Glad to be here with you all. Can you all hear me well?
Yes, you.
Yes, clear.
Okay, great. Thanks. Okay, so we're gonna do a reading. Vishwaroopa Sai. Okay, this one will go on for just for a few days. After that, we are moving into Narayana Suktam. You see, Narayana Suktam is very accurate. Each word is describing the Vishwaroopa, and it is as repeatedly expounded upon by the Vedic scholars, the Vedic movement, the rishis, and a lot of them they use this to connect to Vishwaroopa. I just realized. So we can chant. I can chant the stanza by stanza, and we read the meaning. Okay, we are going to that because it's not really long. Narayana Suktam is not so long, so we will spend some time into this, and then we'll come back into Vishwaroopa. Sorry, by Green Watson. Yeah. Because you will get to really understand much more about our relationship with him. Yeah, because yes, we have Satisai as the Guru, as the divine embodiment of love on earth. And he actually came from this Vishwaroopa. So he came to live amongst us, to pretty much walk with us, and he came to do a lot of that. So he is actually very, very accommodating to us. But once he goes back into his form, his actual form is a different operating system. Yeah, it's a different outlook. So we need to know how to connect to him in this, because he also wants us to reach the formless. Yeah, this is what Swami has been expounding upon. He has even gone to the extent of saying, as long as you worship in form, you have not reached. He has said something like that. So it is important for him that you discover the formless, and the skip from the form of Vishwaroopa to the formless is much more easier, I think, because the cosmic form is quite difficult to comprehend and is quite out of reach. You can't imagine a Vishwaroopa walking around. The size just doesn't fit. So Vishwaroopa, cosmic form, it's beyond comprehension, and it's also very, very huge, very large, which embraces all, including the earth. Yeah. So when we look from that aspect of Swami and know that now we are having this connection with this form, and to know the operating system of this form, wow, it's incredible knowledge. This is great knowledge, actually. From here, you can derive many things. You can derive the Vedas, the Sastras, mantras, yantras, all. A lot of this information, it's available once you are. It's a matter of centralizing yourself in the cosmic phenomena and cosmic form. Yeah. Okay. Easter Saturday. Easter Saturday, 23rd April. As the clock strikes midnight tonight, what will I decide? Will I decide to stay in my physical form or go? If I decide to go, know this phrase: I am not the body. in bold. I, Sri Sathya Sai Baba, as you know me, to be, am not, and never have been the body, the physical body. Even now, as I speak, I am in a state of transition. You all must honor my request to fulfill your obligation to mankind by acknowledging the fact that you are not the body either. Wow, getting very serious, huh? I think, you know, he's really asking us, and he's telling us directly. So if I can and have always have pronounced, I am not this body, then surely you can begin to realize the same for yourself. Because if I'm not the body and you are not the body, and because we are one, yes, of course, we are one. You and I equals one. There's actually an equation here. The equal sign is there. I am the indweller of your very soul, of your existence. So let me lead you by example. See, thought, word, and deed. Swami is a real embodiment of that. He speaks as he does and as he is, you know. You can't say any otherwise. He is that and he speaks as that. The example being, if I can shed my physical form, then so can you. You may not want to, but perfection comes in a form of a rust, a ploy, a divine play. You give to me what I want to give to you, yes? What is that, you ask? Love. Love is what you are giving to me. For once, the focus have shifted from you to me. The love from you to me. For once, the focus have shifted. You know, in terms of a master, you know, speaking, sometimes it really gets you. Huh? If he wants to deliver a message, he will make sure you get it. To appreciate the depth of these emotions, just look at the outpouring of love you have for me. Yeah, at that time, it was quite intense. Many people were weeping on the streets. Many of you have and are experiencing this love for the first time. Your love and concern expands your heart into a place of oneness, a place of stillness within. The ability for you to express is there. So therefore, the love that you have been saving, basically in storage, waiting to be released at some special time or event, has begun to spring forth. Wow, incredible. Incredible. It means your inner spring, which you save so preciously to give to someone, and you long for that someone, has finally come, and you are allowed to express. Surge forth like the mighty Ganges. Wow. So you will feel the peace, love, joy, I promise. Soon, my friends, soon. I guess it's referring to Irene Watson, friend. There is no greater love than the love of one laying down their own life for another. All in the name of goodness and grace. This is, Swami is expressing his love for us, and he's laying his own life That is what the last sentence means. There is no greater love than the love of one laying down their own life for another. All in the name of goodness and grace. I think we should meditate on that. This sentence, last one. There is no greater love than the love of one laying down their own life for another. All in the name of goodness and grace. Can we have a round of sharing for this line? What does it sound to you? How do you feel about it? Can we do that?
It's very profound, Brother Julius. That means Swami himself is laying down his life because he loves us. So it's the greatest sacrifice that he can ever make to all of us. That's very, I mean, just this morning, during my meditation, I have a picture, a beautiful picture, which I really cherish in my altar. And that image flashed Swami with his right hand, right palm blessing. It just flashed and for a moment and it was gone. And so I have no words to say. It's just that he just is unconditional.
Yeah, I feel there's something very profound also. Okay, before I share that, I think some of you have something also. Reminds me of Christ on the cross. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel his love is so immense for us, and he is willing to sacrifice his body. It seems like what Jesus Christ did. He loved us so much. He's taking all the pain, and yeah, it's the love.
Yes.
It's all for the love of his
Goodness
sacrifice.
and grace. It says,
Yes.
all in the name of goodness and grace. Just out of grace, out of love, out of goodness, for the good of all, for everyone. There's no greater love than the love of one laying down. He expresses that love so much. And that love is the one that liberated a lot of us, freed a lot of us. That he took upon himself. And it is something which we should honor. Should honor that. Yes. Anyone else? Yeah, so this is another sign, and he has said over here, so he said, by being an example, he's telling about how we are not the body, and he says that, you know, he doesn't look at his body and recognize it as that, and we also can do that. Yeah, so we also can do that, where we can disidentify with the body. This doesn't mean that you're going to leave the body, okay? This is the myth. This is the confusion part. Doesn't mean that you're going to leave the body. When you detach from the body identification, you are just attaching yourself to your larger self or your higher self or your God self. You are attaching to that. So when you're attaching to that, you are still functioning as per your normal routine. in a much more effective way, I think. I'm sorry about that, but that's what I discovered about myself. It's much more effective because every action that you do, there is few layers illumination, few dimensions, and you understand much more in depth into why you do a certain thing. And I think that helps a lot to bring forth the nowness, to bring forth the presence of yourself, to bring forth the mind, so that the mind doesn't wander everywhere, because it's so important what's happening now, and you know that God is doing through you. And when you can see that and you can experience and you know it, the chances of you drifting off in your mind is very low. Yeah? So you are totally in the now, and you start seeing, experiencing God in all other things, and also people, all other people. So it's really incredible to be, to just shift your mind. Your mind just is like a lock. Swami said your mind is like a lock, door lock. Once you lock it, cannot open. Unlock, it can open. If the lock is like the mind, when the mind turns to the world, cannot open. When the mind turns to God, it can open. Of course, many of us think we are already tuning into God until someone hit your car or someone just took your favorite jewelry, or your most treasured golf stick. Of course, we are not that. We are quite detached. We are all here with strong tiaga, strong connecting to the energies of sadhana. Yeah, that's why we are here. Actually, many of you are the sadhana type, as I know, as I can see. Yeah, very easy to go into a spiritual program and to live sadhana in a retreat, where everyone goes into spiritual activities, and it's always really great to see that, because to see everyone enjoy and in a spiritual activity together is always uplifting, always healing. And we should have more and more these kind of programs, and I'm sure there is a lot more coming up already. There are people conducting all kinds of retreats. Yeah. So okay, so Vishwaroopa Sai is expressing his love. He is willing to even sacrifice his own body, and he doesn't think much about it because he's not identified to it. He doesn't see himself as the body. He has always been established as the Purusha, the Parabrahman, always. How is it to meet someone like that? It's incredible to meet someone like that, and I think there are more and more people like that. And I think after a while, there will be a number of you like that. Just totally detached and also attached. Okay. Now, don't think that this is something very far off. Don't think that something, you need to climb the mountains, or you need to go somewhere and you need to live a certain way. No. You manifest it first. That's how it works. You have to become that first. Maybe not completely. You can select certain part of your body which you feel that, this part you have given to Vishwaroopa Sai. It's I mean, it's workable. This is workable. You just think, okay, now my arm. Swami have said, actually, let me tell you a real life story. When I was 17 years old, I crashed a car, head-on collision with another sport car. No, mine is a sport car. The other one is an old car, and head-on collision. The engine came in, my leg was inside, and I was unconscious. I was brought to the hospital. The other side also was brought to hospital. And it was quite serious because both legs were broken, and Swami, my mom was really freaking out and really want to connect to Swami and pray very hard. He should be safe and he should walk without any limping or something like that. Right? So he was praying and praying, and I recovered quite fast. And the next thing I know, I was already in India in front of Swami in the interview room. So I remember I was still in my bandage, my one leg is bandaged. And Swami, I think he knows me very well. So he's not really interested to talk to me at all throughout the interview. Almost to the end, and I always find myself in this situation, begging to Swami, please at least talk to me something. I don't want to leave the interview room without having a conversation with Swami. And finally, in all his compassionate, merciful ways, he looked at me and he turned to my parents and he started describing what happened. He said this was a very serious accident. It was a head-on collision, and the engine came inside and the roof came up like that. If it's come down, what will happen to your head? He was asking me. As I saved you. Very dangerous. And of course, from then onwards, I knew that this leg is his. This leg is definitely his because it's inside the engine, and it was pulled out. And from then onwards, I've always considered this leg is his. And wherever I go, it must be he wants to go, not me. So I've been having this kind of operating system for a while. And after a while, I realized that this leg energy, right, is different, and it's much faster. It can run faster. It can climb up mountains very fast, actually. And it goes traveling. It goes many places. It goes to 11 countries. He go by car, and then he goes to each state to teach Rudram. And he went around to China, Japan, Russia, all just for Yagnam, only for Yagnam. Spiritual events, Mauritius, Fiji, Australia, and all his work only. I don't have any other work which I'm interested in, although I should be looking at it, but my priority is just to do his work. Yeah. So I realized that this energy which I felt, from my leg is his, slowly started rising. And after a while, I feel that this hands is his, and his body is his head, his ears. And I like to really go into the details, which part is still not his. I'm going to eat it up like an agora. So I would just try to meditate into every portion, every part of my body. And I like to see this, because the more I see this, the more enlightened I become. I feel lighter, I feel happier, I feel very full of love, yeah, for Swami, and Swami's love also is that. So this is what it is. And he's saying that the love is your love for me is what he treasures. You give to me what I want to give to you. Yes. What is it that you ask? Love. Love is what you are giving to me. For once, the focus have shifted from you to me. I think he's waiting for that for a long time, for our love to focus on him. Because our love has been focused on the world, on all kinds of infatuation and fantasies and unfulfilled, and which bring a lot of ups and downs. And of course, after a long time, we realize that this love is meant for God. Actually, it came from God, and now we are given this opportunity to give back to God. And this is what he's been waiting for. Yeah. So he is very happy that we are actually responding to his love, appreciating his love, and giving back his love. This is a very joyful moment, very loving moment, which embraces all romance and love stories, which is beyond all of that also. Yeah. So yes, okay, we have stopped here for this book. Amazing book, isn't it? Any sharings before we proceed?
Brother, may I ask you a question which is not relevant to the text you read? As in,
Go ahead.
so Sister Vladka also shared messages from the Galactic Federation, and they say that all the dark forces have been sent away and stuff like that. But I see a lot of, corruption and unwholesome things still happening in the mundane world. Can you give an explanation to that, please?
Sure. Okay. Whatever that happened in the fifth dimension or the seventh dimension, it takes time to trickle down. Okay, first is that. What we talk about in the fifth dimension sometimes take even a year before it manifests on the third dimension. And I would say that most of the things that we have been covering on the quantum ascension missions, most of them are already manifested on the third dimension. For example, do you remember we were talking about the vaccine? The year?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That was a year ago. So whatever story that we are following in the news now about vaccine, about the dangers of it, and the chances of it being with some other hidden agenda, yeah, these are all coming up only now in the third dimension. But we have talked about it 1 year ago. And this fear of taking the vaccine now has so many people. So many people are afraid. So many people are reading. They're catching up on the stories. They are now awakening to something larger. And there are groups that are coming together to protect, and they are saying, not on my children. We don't want. We're going to live secluded. We are going away from the urban cities, and we are going to nature. So there is a shift already. Yeah, people are moving in the third dimension already. The transmutation also has happened. By the way, I've taken my jab. I don't know how, but I was just guided, and the energy was just pushing me to get it done, and I was just following with Swami. And the next thing, the jab, when it went in, I was so energized. I came back, I was carrying rocks, I was carrying tables, rock tables, and I was non-stop the whole night. I didn't sleep. The next day, again, I started doing things. I slept very little, just 2 hours. And then after that, again, on my rounds, and I get a lot of realization. It's like it's added boost. There is an energy that came through. But of course, after the third day, yeah, go ahead.
That is after the jab, is it?
Yes, after the jab. After the jab. That's what happened. I became very, I thought, because I'm more in the contemplative type, you know, I focus on my inner energy more than outer energy. But instead, I mean, of course, my inner energy was rising, but my external energy became so strong. These are huge rocks that I carry by myself. So, and I don't feel anything. I don't feel, you know, that it's heavy. Although I'm shocked after that, you know, to see. And I jumped in the pool a few times. This is what I feel that this is a large connection to the source, because we are subconsciously also very much focusing on the central sun. Yeah, a lot of our missions and also direction is largely to connect to the central sun's energy that's coming down. So so the central sun energy was very much coming down, and there was a lot of I guess it added on to the Lions Gate portal, and that one led to our illumination also of Hiranyagarbha. I mean, before that, we did have Vishwaroopa Sai showering, you know, so much light on us that we are able to locate the Hiranyagarbha Linga. And to deliver this to the central sun, we need a lot of energy to do that. We need a lot of, first, punyam. We need to have a lot of punyam to do that. We need to have a lot of synchronicities, which is approved by layers, dimensions and dimensions. We need to get the divine blessings and guidance and total takeover of Vishwaroopa Sai. I feel that because this kind of event, we can't plan it. Initially, we thought that we are going up to the Lions Gate portal on the 8/8, and I'm supposed to cross over, right, to bring forth. And I just thought of just crossing over, that's it. But it didn't happen. It happened the next day. So the next day, we were brought in the Vishwaroopa Sai craft, and we crossed, and we went further to the central sun. So it's largely unplanned, and it is just pure synchronicity and energy that's moving. And this is an entire build up of it. So yeah, so the third dimension, the fifth dimension manifestation, for example, even, okay, let's say forest fires. We go on a mission and we do clearing, we shower light, and then different rays, and then we invoke the divine energy to take over. And if there's anything to be removed, you know, there's an actual effort and progress to push out those energies, and dissolve it, right? So the entire process was done, okay? Most of the time done in a very happy way. At the end, you know, everyone's happy about it. The forest fire is still going on.
Yeah.
Okay, now, does it mean that fifth dimension, nothing happened? Now, let me tell you, that fire before the mission and this fire after the mission is very different. The fire before the mission, a lot of times is consuming. It comes with an energy to clear. You know, there is some energy that's driving it to consume. But the other one after the mission is not like that. The fire is much more mellow. It's much more relaxed, like slowing down, and it's not so wild. You know, it doesn't consume houses. You know, as if we spoke to the fire like that, and we had a relationship, and you know, we had a discussion with the fire, and it worked out. So it's very different after the mission. A lot of times it slows down. Maybe another space, you know, that another place that's not so resolved. That place start. So you can actually look into every area or coverage. There's so much to learn in this actually. You can really go into the details of why this fire continues to spread, why this fire slowed down, and this fire doesn't consume houses. This, you know, all types. Very, very incredible to do this. We should have a department to study this because there's this information are available. It's not like, you know, it's very difficult to find. You just need to set up and ask the question, and it will be just given to you.
Thank you. Yeah, I understand. We have to be patient and it will come.
Another way you can look at it is you have to have, remember this, energy first, materialization second. Okay, it's not the other way around. It's not physically you do something first, then the energy comes. Of course, I mean, you need the correspondence between each, right? But it's always energy that comes first. Then the manifestations happens. Yeah. So if your mind, if you know this, then you can work on the energy. You can approach situations or events from an energetic point of view first. A very simple example is the light meditation. Many people have been advised, and they have also experienced, that when you do a light meditation, before you go to work or before you attend a very important meeting, when you do light meditation, the work or the meeting is much more better, much more nicer, and it's much more smoother, right? This is a lot of people experience this, you know, when light meditation. So what is light meditation? It's energy. You are dealing with your light, and then you're sharing the light, and you're spreading the energy of peace, energy of unconditional love, of healing, you know, of wanting good for all, of harmony. It impacts your event. It impacts your office. It impacts the places you go, and you most often the time you find it that it's much more. The outcomes are usually much more nicer. Yeah. So this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Yes. So from here, you know that it's energy first, always. Okay. Anyone else?
Brother, during last night's session, you were mentioning about you experienced new opening, very creative, about fusion of gods coming together, what's not you were mentioning. Then you also mentioned that you witnessed the old is made new. I really don't get what you meant by the old is made new. Can
Okay.
you like elaborate or explain about that a bit?
Okay. See, the new that's coming through is again energy. It's a fusion. It's a great fusion of a lot of energies coming together and totally guided by by divine to manifest an incredible light that's coming through, and this involves the God Himself, and this is very dynamic, very huge. Okay, so this is new energy, yeah, new energy, and it's constantly new, right?
Okay.
What about the old things? For example, this cup. See, there's a smiley here. There's eyes. You see that?
Yes, yes.
I have not. Okay, I'm telling you now, I have not seen this. But I've used this cup for a long time. This is old. This is an old cup.
Okay.
But it became new.
Right, right.
Look at this, it's smiling away in joy and peace.
Okay, okay.
The old is made new.
So this is back again to us that as we progress, we tend to see everything with a different perception from a different level of consciousness.
Yes, and also you will start seeing where these old, supposedly old things actually fit. There is a place for them. There is a huge amount of synchronicity for the things also. All things in this that you have, if you really look at it from a larger perspective, from a perspective of God, from divine perspective, you will see, you start seeing these things actually becoming divine. You will actually realize that these things are actually divine, and because you start to match your setting, you start to match your manifestations, your understanding of the universe, and it starts to make sense. A lot of things in your that you have, it starts to make sense. And that's why I meant, you know, those are very incredible, touching moments. Why? Because you will start realizing that the day you bought this thing, God is already with you. Otherwise, you won't have this thing which fits the puzzle now, isn't it?
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Like how I'm talking to all my chairs and tables, it's like that.
Yes, one is that, and also the matching, like, you know, this chair suddenly it fits so well over here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then that table, it fits so well, as if it's waiting for the longest time for you to put there. You know,
I get it, I get it.
you know, that kind of you start having this kind of realization and awakening, you know, and your house. Why we are talking about the house? Because, you know, we are somewhat grounded in this place, in this ashram, and that's have been my experience, and also in the Zoom channel, we are always, you know, talking about this kind of manifestations. So yes, so I guess this is also a spillover for all of you to have this same type of manifestations in your house. So you need to just pay attention on the old things. Huh? Some of the old things are very, it's gold actually. You know? Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I was just wondering if I should say this. See, yeah, for example, that cloth right there. I don't know. I feel like it's just meant to be there, but it's been with us for the longest time. I'm not sure if we have ever used that cloth before, but you know, my sister brought it out for me, and straight down, it fits there. And now this place is becoming an altar. If you can see, it's already a chair. bone is there already, the tree. So this entire space now is turning out to be an energetic point where we can connect. Yeah? So this chair is the only chair that's left that is outdoor, and it looks really nice. I mean, the shape of it, the curve of it, I love that. And you start manifesting more and more, more and more. Okay. Anyone else? All right. Now, okay, I'm going to, since all of you, most of you are really following the unfoldment over here and also understanding what I'm talking about. So I dare to share with you the next thing that's happening, which I will not share with anyone else, really, because they really put me in the mental department. But this pool, remember I was saying that, seems to be a civilization underneath, and it's starting to manifest. And of course, when it manifests, there's a process, and I'm really happy that we are able to go through this together, because it's nothing like going through it together. Because if I show you the end result, you will just say, wow, this is incredible, right? This unfoldment. But if you are in the process of also of seeing it and discovering, and then discovering and discovering, and at the end you see the end product, you really feel your participation and the greatness of this. So the pool, you all know about this being that was praying very hard to be placed into this pool, and it was done, and she's turning into an angel. And in the process of turning to angel, there's all kinds of manifestation of reflection on the sun, on the pool, and many of you saw that also. Now, a lion just jumped inside. Great lion. And I think this is in synchronicity with the
Wow.
Lionsgate portal. This is totally the energy energy of the Lionsgate portal coming through very strong, and because our portal is very it's a highway, so it has entered the lion has entered inside. Okay, of course, when I say it like this, it denotes the fifth dimension activity or unfoldment that I'm sharing with you, right? But because it's happening so fast, and it is aligned thoughtward and deed and with cosmic self, it also manifests on the third dimension. Yeah, it also manifests in the third dimension. So there's actually a lion, a red lion inside. But of course, third dimension, you see it, it's just a statue inside, a lion statue inside. But it is by reflection of the fifth dimension what happened. So it's the energy that came first. And then because of that, there's a statue of a lion inside actually. And there's a
amazing, brother. Oh my God.
small is of this size. Yeah. And of course, usually when we put an animal inside the water, you will feel like, oh, it shouldn't be, might suffocate, you can't breathe, right? But what I see now, as I look at the lion, his eyes is staring at one point, and I know that the lion is illuminating something down there. So his eyes is focused on one point. And this is very, very very, very phenomenal for me, because a lion focusing on one point can mean opening, he's roaring, right? He's roaring inside in a dimension, yeah, which can expand consciousness and bring down even Sirius energies from great central sun. It can actually penetrate right inside, through the eyes of the lion. So incredible. My son is together with me in the whole ceremony. He is the one who actually told me, he should go in, and we have to give him food first, give the lion food. It's really nice. The whole process was beautiful. So now that's my duty to report to all of you.
Wow, so amazing. That is so amazing.
So I can't, this is a laptop, so I can't really show you. Maybe next time when I have the phone or something more. I'm sure you're going to be seeing this lion and more unfolding. Yeah, because, and ironically, look at that. My dad, when he built this pool, he has already have his initial dream of this pool is to have something down there. So we have the rocks inside the pool. But it's kind of odd, you just have 3 rocks inside the pool and nothing else. So he attempted a few rounds to create something, some plants or something. But it is that he's subconsciously, he feels that something can manifest inside, to accommodate this whole system. And I see it now. I start to see what his soul is trying to tell him, and this is in sync to what's unfolding now.
Is the being still, I mean, the process of transforming into an angel? Is she playing her part in the karma part, or what's happening?
Okay, this transmutation from that level of being into an angel, usually it takes a long time, and it takes a very it could be a very tedious process or so. But because of the amount of energetic work we are doing here, most of the time we are doing our mission and prayers, and we have the Rudram chanting going on here continuously. So a lot of mantras and all. So this water, it's high, it's all captured, they captured, how water stores memory, right? So a lot of these prayers have been captured in the water, and we revere the water as that. And also we have brought priests who have a lot of experiences in this, like Tarpanam and prayers. They themselves saw that this water is like a holy water. Yeah. So the being that's inside there is transmuting very fast. Yeah. Sometimes I could see that she is so angelic. Yeah. And another side is so dark. Dark in a sense is more of just it's just like a bit like dark energy, but it's not. It is just a reflection. If you see the face, right, it looks a bit scary for some. But if you look further, it's really beautiful. Just like Mother Kali, initially you get scared when you see her, right? But if you really connect to Mother Kali and you worship her as the divine being, you would really feel the love and the incredible beauty in Mother Kali. Same. So this being is also very much transmuting like that, and I somehow realized that all the beings that enter into this field have been, in a way, know that they are going public. This is really incredible, because you need to talk to these souls before you go public, and you talk about them, because some of them are shy, some of them they don't want to be known. But most beings inside here, even including the lion, he was just so happy to be going inside. And when I ask, usually I would ask any soul before I do anything, and the response have been really coming forward. We are very keen to participate. We are very happy to participate, and I discovered this from Brahmarishi Hills, actually, because a lot of the trees, I won't want to move any of the trees, right? It's been widely told that, you don't mess up the forest, don't ever touch anything, unless you, especially like me, I start clearing up the whole place, and I start making foundations for tents and all. But when I ask, the response is always very eager, very happy that, we have come and we are doing this. And sometimes many times actually, they themselves come in to help, they themselves want to participate. So from then onwards, it's been this kind of energy is coming forth. A lot of gratitude, I would say, a lot of gratitude. I remember once when I was walking down Brahmarishi Hills, the amount of the response that comes forth from the beings there was so incredible, so touching. They come in groups to thank and all. So, and I think this is something which the monad should know and to experience also, because this is also your reality. It is also your unfoldment. If you were to connect to the forest or the nature, you can also connect in this way. Yeah, you can also connect in this way. Once you connect in this way, you will see your dimensions opening. Your consciousness expands, and you start having this much deeper relationship with nature and also beings in a much more elevated way, much more happier way. Just like how many of you now have your own dragons. You have a happy dragon, you have your own personal experiences with your dragon. And before we talk about dragon, some people are scared, to have. So it is a relationship which has been, it is a dimension which is open now for all of us. So same way, all the other things, you will feel an expansion of consciousness, which is incredible. All right, anyone else?
Brother Julius, I remember a long time ago, whenever you sat here at this place and you used to play the hand drum. I used to see a beautiful lion dancing, doing lion dance behind you. It was reddish in color. I'm wondering now whether that's the same lion that was there from those days, or is it just came now?
Okay, very good. Now, this dimension that you see, that you can, maybe some have some experiences and all, you have to remember one thing, is beyond time. Okay, if we follow very closely an energy field, we might be able to track the sequence of events. But once you connect, as in the fifth dimension, you can start seeing the future, you can see the past, you can see the present. And fifth dimension is like that. Once you are in the fifth dimensional field, you can see the future, like what it can possibly unfold in the future. So for your case, I think you saw the future, and the future is also now, and the past now. Yeah.
Interesting. I have to get used to which is future and which is past.
Yeah, it's quite difficult. After a while, your orientation will be a bit off. You are unable to find some ground. But the operating system of the fifth dimension itself is the ground. You
It's a
get
good
to-
thing. It's just enjoyable to just watch them. So I don't really need to know future or past. But maybe if it's something very, very interesting and they want to tell me, then I need to, yeah. That time I'll get into trouble. I won't know. Is it past or future? Like the fights that I was seeing last some time back. Now you told me that that was actually the past. So yeah, in the space, yeah. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I suppose those two fairies that are flying behind you, they are also from the future. So this one will bring in the rest of the colony, or they already there? I
Uh,
see some behind you are greenish with their very nice, beautiful greenish, very bright fairies. I'm presuming it is from her, the colony that's in the either that or they are the forest creatures. I'm not sure.
mhm.
So it's very nice, very beautiful.
Okay, I'll guide you guys through all this because these are very important and it's good to know how it works. So now you're seeing angel in the green unfoldment there, right? Okay,
Yeah, that's right.
now one thing is for sure, the angel is connecting to you. That is confirmed because you recognize the angel, right? And you feel something about the angel. You feel like the angel is manifesting, and it's also synchronized to our topic now. And you have brought forth that you're aware of an angel in space. So that angel has connected to you. Okay. So that one,
Okay.
leave it as that first. The second part, which you are talking about, uh, is this from the past, or is it now, or is it going to something's going to happen? This is the mind coming in.
Okay.
The mind trying to comprehend, the mind trying to see what is the thing. But let's say if the angel is going to go through a process which you're supposed to know, you will just, after a while, you just know. It's like download, because if you are connected to the angel, right, you are already telepathic. You're already telepathic.
All right.
You're opening
So
your,
as the so yeah, then later on, if I'm keep seeing it, the knowledge comes.
yes, the communication happens. And you
Okay.
start understanding where the angel from and what is she doing and where is she going after that. You just know. It's download. It's like you contact and that information just comes right through like that. So that is not with mind. That is telepathy, and that's energy exchange. That's communication, and you should go along that line. If you go along that line, your mind not so active to want to jump into this. You just allow it to flow, and the trust that is all for good. Trust that is all for good, and with that, a lot of things you might start knowing.
Yeah, that's really, really interesting.
Mm.
Very interesting. Thank you, Sairam.
Sayonara. Anyone else? Huh? All right. Okay. All right, we have 9 minutes. Let's have some meditation. Okay, something is happening here. Earlier, we saw the lion moving, okay, when it's on top. And I think you might be able to see the lion because I'm seeing it moving. Let me try doing this as we, just when the music is played. Can you see a lion there? Lion's head. There, the red one. That's the head of the lion.
Yeah, can see
It's
the
look-
head part.
Yeah, it's looking down actually. It's looking there. This one right here. This is the lion.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's play. Oh, Sairam, thank you so much for coming to this space. Oh, Sairam.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Saram.
Sairam, brother, can you make a co-host for me? Prabhu sharing, thank you.
Sairam, everyone. Thank you, Brother Julius. We shall now commence our Rudra Parayana for the Southeast Asia session. May there be peace and solidarity around the world. Sairam. Brother Prabhu?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Om. Om Bhurbhuvassuvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Yo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhurbhuvassuvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam